went through in my life basically led me up to this moment in my life now where I finally have things stable, where I finally have things together just enough to fully take care of myself and to fully have my shit together, right? So, I struggled a lot. I struggled through 12 years of drug addiction. I struggled through multiple overdoses. I struggled through multiple betrayals from people that I thought were my close friends. I struggled from betrayal from family, close family who completely betrayed my trust. People who I thought had my back to the point where I couldn't trust people, and I didn't trust people for a good 5 years. I spent like 5 years of my life alone just because I didn't trust anybody. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, if you're like sitting there thinking to yourself, all this Gnosticism BS about, oh, we're in the prison of the demiurge and we got to escape, and oh my God, it's like, what is the purpose of being here? The soul chooses to come here. The soul makes the choice to have the lifetime. There are thousands of lifetimes of your true soul, your true self, scattered across the cosmos. And you're just living one of those lifetimes right now. Okay. Sorry, it's still early. I'm waking up, so I might be a little like, foggy with my words, but I'm going to try to articulate this the best I can. So there's a causal realm, right? Below that, there's a mental realm. Below that, there's an astral realm. Below that, there's an etheric realm. Below that, there's a physical realm, which is this realm. Now, these are the lifetime planes, okay? And beyond that, let's say this is causal. There's spiritual planes above that that lead to God, the source, the one that creates everything. Below God, the source is God is the 11D, 11 dimensional. 10 dimensional is two realms, the realm of light and the realm of the void, that composes duality. And for simplicity's sake, that's all I'll discuss in terms of the spiritual realms for right now. Then you got several other spiritual realms below that. Then you get to the 7D, the causal realm. And the causal realm is where your true self resides, your true soul, the one that's absorbed the thousands of lifetimes that you've lived on this earth. This life is a drop in the bucket. 72 years is nothing in the grand scheme of the cosmos. My advice to you, if you're considering giving up, keep going and just ride it out and be a leaf in the wind and see where the wind takes you, because you'll be surprised. You'll be very surprised where the wind takes you. I mean, like 5 years ago, I was sitting there completely hopeless, on multiple drugs, probably on 10 different medications, on multiple hard drugs. I was like smoking crack, I was doing fentanyl. And hello, Osborne, how are you doing today? Uh, but yeah, be the leaf in the wind and just let the wind blow you and carry you. So what I'm talking about today, Osborne, is why we choose to be here and why the Gnostic outlook on life that, oh, there's a demiurge and he's imprisoning us, is a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of crap, okay? Because you choose to be here. This is one of thousands of lifetimes you have lived. There's a causal realm, a 7-dimensional realm where your true self resides, okay? Beneath that, there's a mental realm, which is, your thoughts aren't just hallucinations. Your thoughts exist somewhere in some dimension, in some space. Everything you feel exists somewhere in some kind of space, okay? These things do not just come from nowhere like science would want you to believe. So you've got the mental realm in the 60 below the causal realm, which is heaven. It's called Devachan in occult circles. And this is the realm of heaven, essentially. They say heaven is in a city above the clouds. And when you enter Devachan, you burst through a pink cloud of energy, which is untapped. It's basically unmanifested mental potential. Beneath that, the astral realm, this is the realm of dreams. This is like the purgatory realm, and I consider the main realm of existence because the most duality happens here. The most good versus evil and whatnot happens here. So why the hell do we go down to the physical then, where it basically seems like nothing's possible? Like we're just sitting here in this, everything's like solid, everything's heavy, everything's dense. There are permanent physical consequences, because once you get beyond this realm to like the astral, the physical consequences stop being permanent and it's more about energetic harm. and that's something I'll break off into in a second here. But basically, hey guys, how are you? I hope you're all doing really good. God says you need to shut the hell up. I don't know. I believe in God. I follow God and I follow Jesus Christ. Okay. And they help me out a lot. And they are actually the center, the focal point of my life and my inspiration for pushing forward. I pray to God and to Jesus every single day, you little asshole. So, no, really though, I send you love and prayer and kindness. In all honesty, a lot of Christians get defensive about stuff like this because they don't, it's like it's set up in this way deliberately by the occult circles. It's like, like let's say you were to show a peasant a book on the occult, they would look at you and they'd be like El Diablo, and they'd like freak out and they'd run away, right? It scares people because they think it is of the devil, even though it is not, which is okay. God's not real. Yes, he is. I'm sorry to say, Golden Knight, I've had multiple astral projections. I've had 2 overdoses. I've literally felt myself die. I've literally had 4 ego deaths. I can confirm to you the divine and the higher spiritual realms are real, and God does, in fact, exist. So I'm going to ignore these messages for just a minute and keep talking about what I was talking about. So why do we choose to be here then? If life sucks so bad for so many people, supposedly, why do we choose to be here? Because this is the realm of lessons. This is the realm where your soul learns and grows the most because it feels so goddamn real, right? It's like when you leave this life, it feels like a dream. It feels like you've just left a dream and it fades away. But while you're living it, just like while you're living a dream, it feels so goddamn real. Okay. You feel and experience these things, right? And so while you're living your life, it's all about perspective. Okay, it's about perspective and how you look at the world around you. Okay, you can sit there and say, well, I'm stuck in this world and I have nothing, and there's a demiurge and he's keeping me locked here and trapped in this life, and I can't pay my bills and everything's gone wrong for me. I have no friends and this and that and woe is me. Or you can look at it from a different lens. You can look at it in terms of, you know what, I have clothes on my back. I'm living in an insulated place where I don't have to sleep out in the cold and I'm not exposed to the elements. Because I've slept in an uninsulated building before. It is not pleasant. In the middle of winter, it is not pleasant. Wrapped up in like 5 blankets and still trying to get warm. Waking up in the middle of the night because it is so goddamn cold. So outside of that, though, let's go through some gratitude really quick. Let's just see what we have to be grateful for, okay? I'm grateful for the air in my lungs. I'm grateful for the clothes on my back. I'm grateful that I'm 3 years clean from crack, fentanyl, amphetamines, and all the other drugs that I was on, okay? I'm grateful for my perspective on life and the fact that I've gotten Jesus in my life today to guide me forward. I'm grateful that I have a car, that I have transportation to get me around. Okay, because it's not easy without a car. I've gone without a car before. It's not easy at all. And then beyond that, I'm grateful that I'm still alive because I should be dead. After 37 years, 12 years spent of that in drug addiction, I should be dead right now, 10 times over, and I'm still here, still sitting here talking to you guys. It is nothing short of a miracle, okay? But yeah, we're not trapped in a prison, you guys. This is just a place to come and learn, for the soul to come and learn and grow. It's like, let's say you have a really powerful dream, right? And in that dream, something happens where you come across a person and they seem like your best friend. And then later on in the dream, they betray you, okay? And you learn from that dream that not everyone can be trusted, that, not everything is as it appears to be, that friend in your dream was truly someone who was against you. Or the opposite too. You have someone in your dream, they appear shady. They might be like a shadow or whatever. They might look like a monster. And then you approach them and they turn out to actually help you against this other person who acted like your friend, who actually wound up attacking you. And that's just a small lesson learned. But, you do learn things from your dreams. But that's the point of this life. It's to come here and learn lessons. You come here and you learn lessons and you learn and you grow as you get older over time. Let's see here. I'm grateful for your words, bro. Thank you for that, man. It means a lot to me. Look at it like this. So on Friday, I went to get a car loan because I thought I was going to be getting a new Honda Accord, 2019, I think. And if not that, then at least a Malibu because that was my backup car. But both cars were salvaged, so the bank wouldn't give me the full loan for them. The bank only gave me half the loan. And I could have sat there and said, well, fuck this. I spent all week test driving these cars. I wanted to, and actually, I'll be honest with you, I did for a minute. I sat there for a minute and I was pretty mad. But then I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? I'm approved for a loan now. All I have to do is find a car with a green that isn't salvaged, and I've got my new car. Okay. In terms of keeping material, actually, I'm wondering, does anybody have any questions for me regarding what I'm talking about right now? Because there's a few people watching. I see one person watching right now. Do you have any questions for me in regard to just anything in general? No? Okay. I am not perfect. I do not claim to be any kind of messiah or any type of person who knows it all, and I never will, because I'm just a guy who's had a weird set of experiences. I'm 3 years clean almost at the end of April. Of 3 years clean from drugs and alcohol, but I still vape. And I appreciate the sub. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. I drink coffee. I quit for like 8 months, but I'm back at it now. And, I'm not perfect, right? I'm not a perfect person. In fact, the duality, the yin yang. So I was explaining this before anybody even came into the chat, but basically there are lifetime realms and then there are spiritual realms that lead to God, right? And the second realm down from God is two individual realms, the light and the void. The light is the realm of God manifested into some kind of physical form, because the source itself does not manifest into anything you can perceive with your basic senses. It just is, it is everything and it is nothing simultaneously. And then the other side, the void, the other side of the coin, the void is, it isn't evil, okay? What it is, it's raw creative potential, because God can only exist as light. So the void allows for free choice and the freedom of expression, the freedom of creative expression. And that creative expression can be used for anything. It can be used for good, it can be used for evil, it can be used for everything in between. That's all right, man. You have a great day, and I appreciate you subbing, and I appreciate you watching and everything, and I'll see you around. So, basically, but yeah, there's two sides to duality, the yin and the yang. And I actually completely forgot where I was going with this. But the point is, we get choice in life, we get a choice in life as to how to live our lives. And a big part of that choice, I feel, comes from our perspective of that life. You can sit there all day doom scrolling and saying the demiurge is out to get me. Gnosticism told me the demiurge wants to imprison me on this prison planet, and the elites rule, these reptilian archonic elites rule everything, blah blah blah. Or maybe you could have the perspective of, what, I'm so grateful for every little thing I have in my life. I'm so grateful for these clothes. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful that I'm not living out on the streets. I'm grateful that I'm able to take care of myself to some extent. I mean, for me, I can take care of myself completely, but I see a lot of Gen Zers struggling. So maybe you're like halfway there or whatever. Oh, you're back again. Oh, hey, welcome back. But yeah, maybe maybe you're somewhere in between, right? So, oh man, okay. So I'm gonna stop responding to comments for a minute because I got kind of like thrown off again. I got thrown off a little bit. So I'm sick this weekend, so I'm spending the weekend at my mom's. I actually found a place to move in. I said that yesterday. I found a friend to move in with. But anyway, so it's all about perspective. That's right. It's all about perspective. So you could sit there being like, oh, demiurge, this and that, or maybe you have a $10 bill, right? And you're going to use it to go buy some bullshit. You know, it could be anything, whatever, you know, maybe some food, maybe some like, you know, something you don't need or whatever, but you have an extra $10 sitting around. Now, instead of doing that, you go around, you look around, and you wait until you see someone with a homeless sign up saying homeless, starving, or need food. You give the money to them instead. And you put that good karma out into the world. And this is very important. I was taught this at the very beginning of when I joined the NA program. Whenever you do a good deed, you never talk about it with anybody. You never say a word. You don't go like to your friends and say, "Oh, I just gave $10 to this homeless guy," or to your like family, "I just gave $10 to this homeless guy," because it feeds and two reasons. One, it feeds a need for validation, and that's another addiction in and of itself. And two, because it dampens that good karma. It cheapens the karma and the good act. You want to do good things just to do good things, basically. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I am starting to feel better. I felt terrible. I felt like ass on Friday and Thursday. I had to work on Thursday, and I don't even know how I got through it, man, because I felt horrible, but I did. But yeah, you know, I see my, you know, this is my second live stream now, and I see my like view count bouncing up and down. I'm gonna try to keep this interesting here and hold your attention here for a second. I'm gonna explain to you guys, and this is the last thing I'm gonna talk about too, is the different levels of reality based on my experience from seasoned astral travelers like Jurgen Ziwe and so on. So, third dimension, physical realm, very obvious. It is the realm of lessons. It is the realm we come to experience an ordinary lifetime. It has permanent physical consequences, and you can be both physically and energetically harmed on this realm. Realm four is the etheric realm. Now there's energy and there's physicality, right? Like I said, two forms of harm. So the physical world is the of this whole world. The physical world is the physical component of this reality. And then the etheric realm is the fourth dimension. It is the energetic component of this reality. And people who wind up in the etheric are people who are either afraid to move on because they're afraid of the bad life they've led, they're afraid of hell, or because they have an addiction or something that's tying them to the physical realm that they do not want to let go of. Maybe they have lots of money, maybe they had a really good life, and they don't want to let go of that. And so they get stuck in the etheric as ghosts, shades. This is where hauntings come from. Then you have the fifth dimension, which is the astral realm. This is the realm of dreams, basically. Some people say, "Oh, I don't dream." That's bullshit. You dream every night, you just don't remember it. Either your dreams aren't interesting enough to remember, or you become so fogged by the low area of the astral that you're in, that your physical body is acting as kind of like a shield and protecting you, because this physical shell of ours protects us from the full energetic effects of the astral. There are seven lokas or levels to the astral. The seventh level is like a burnout version of it. The astral is like this world with minor differences, basically. I've astral projected multiple times. One time my house was out in the middle of the woods. One time my house was a mansion. One time my house was on the side of a busy road. You know, it's a little different every time. One time there was a bathroom like behind where I'm pointing or whatever that isn't there. Like it's not there right now, but it was there in my astral projection. Um, so the fifth realm is the astral realm, the fifth dimension, and there is a lot you can do there. I consider it to be the base reality for like, you know, existence. And like, let's say God created the game of life for people to live out like existence or whatever. I feel like the astral realm is the main realm where that happens, but it is the realm of dreams. And as it goes higher and higher and higher, it becomes more less like this world and more like the heavenly spiritual realms. Then beyond that, you have the mental plane, the 60. And this is where you go when your astral body dies. And this realm, there's only positive energy. Everything you think manifests instantly. Your thoughts right now, what you're thinking in your head, comes from the mental plane. The lower thoughts you have, because there's two realms of thought. The mental plane is the realm of lower thought. Then the 70, the causal realm, is where your soul resides, where all the thousands of your lifetimes you've lived reside within that one oversoul of yours. Okay. And that is where the main component of your soul is, that reincarnates over and over again through what, if you want to call it the wheel of samsara, you can call it that. You can call it whatever you want. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But then in the seventh realm, that's the realm of higher thought. This is the realm of the Akashic records. If you can access the Akashic records, you can know absolutely everything about everything. And this is why they do shit like, put fluoride in the water and whatnot, because they don't want you to have access to these meditative techniques. Because like when your pineal gland isn't fluoridated, it's easier to concentrate, to slow down, to meditate, and to just meditate. You can meditate your way up into these higher realms, right? If you know what you're doing. And it's usually as simple as focusing on a single object in your mind without letting it wander. Like, let's just say blue candle. Think of a blue candle and hold it in your mind as long as you can. Don't let it move. Don't let it change shape, and just keep the image in your head. And the longer you do that, like it gets crazy. You start to blend with your environment after about half an hour of doing that. But it is not an easy thing to do. It is a very difficult thing to do. You'll find after like 10 seconds, the image will start to change shape. And but anyway, I'm getting off topic here. So yeah, seventh realm, Akashic records. It holds all of the data for, it's like a lot of people describe it as like a large library, but it holds every emotion, every thought, every experience, every idea from the beginning of time until the end of time, in every single timeline, in all the infinite timelines, in every realm below that. It basically holds all the information of all the lifetime realms in its complete totality. Okay. Eighth, and then that's the end of the lifetime realms right there. Eighth realm. Now this is where it gets complex. It's the world of idealized forms. Sorry, my I'm sick, and I need to drink some water because like I'm talking so fast. My mouth is like starting to dry out. But yeah, world of idealized form. If you've ever had a psilocybin ego death, that's what that is. Basically, it's the eighth dimension, world of idealized form, where you merge with everything and you blend with everything and you become one with your surroundings, but there are still things differentiated from yourself. Nine dimension realm of archetypes. This is like a DMT breakthrough. Okay, if you've ever had a DMT breakthrough in the tunnel, and you've gone to that area with like it's like not this world. Like this world disappears and there's a new world. And Terence McKenna talks all about it. But you can run into archetypes there, powerful godlike beings like Buddha, the Christian God, Muhammad. Is it Muhammad? I don't want to say the one that's the Muslim one because the Muslims really don't like talking about that. But is it Muhammad? Maybe. Shiva. Who's the one I'm thinking of though? Who's the Jewish one? Is that Muhammad, the Jewish one? Yeah, okay, so I didn't mention the Muslim one. No, Muhammad is the Jewish one. That's right. Okay. Because Muslims get pissed when you mention like just the name in general and anything outside of their beliefs. So I'm not trying to start anything with that. But basically, like, the different types of gods from the different types of religions exist in this 9D plane. And then the 10D beyond that is the light and the void. And if you've ever been into a K-hole before, I've never done ketamine. One of the drugs I've never taken before. But if you wind up in a K-hole, that is the void. And a lot of people describe it as very unpleasant and very scary because the higher you go, the less ego you have and the more consciousness you have. And ego is your sense of self. Consciousness is literally the God self within you, right? Your fragment of the source within you. So, yeah, the void is raw creative potential. Basically, it is everything outside of God that can be created. Everything that exists outside of God comes from the void. Then on the other end is the realm of light. This is where the yin yang comes from, and there's a little bit of light in the void and a little bit of void in the light, But the Tao, the yin yang, is based on these two realms, the light and the void, 10D. And then 11D finally is the source. But yeah, I'm getting really winded here. I can't believe it, but I've been talking for almost half an hour now. So I'm just going to leave it at that, you guys. And I hope you all have a great day. All right. I'll see you later. Bye.